hope everybody had a really good day today. So I'm off and it's raining like I don't know what out here. It is raining. Like it's raining so bad. I had to freaking take my shoes off because water got all up in my shoes, and it's not good to be riding around with no wet feet. I was too lazy to take these. Whatever. Not gonna go there. But God is good, y'all. I'm on my way home. One of you ladies asked me a question. You looked at one of my ancient old videos, and that was a video where it was eviction day, and you asked like how I was doing now. Did you ever get another spot? I'm doing really good. I'm doing great, magnificent. I'm on my way to later on down the line getting my house, but where I'm at right now in my life, I can come and go as I please and don't have to worry about somebody telling me I gotta get. Excuse me, let me go. So God is good. God is good. You know what they say, when you down, it's only one way to go, when it's up. So y'all, let me talk about people that really touch and impact your life, and how God can really use you to be at a certain place at a certain time to do just this one particular thing that can push somebody. Like, I realize in the business that I do, I help people get into certain things. They may, and I remember when I used to work at other properties, and they may think like I'm not going to be able to do, but you know what? It's true. It's all on who you know. It's all on who you know. So anyway, so one of the ladies, she's actually leaving, but she was a huge blessing to me, because she was the one who was like, I want you on the squad. And so that was a huge blessing, and she has no idea how she blessed me and my daughter and my whole situation, because I went from going through battling in court, going through divorce, not having any type of insurance. My daughter had insurance through the state, I didn't. But the lady, this lady really looked out, and so she's going somewhere else. And I just told her, like, I want to thank you so much for the opportunity, because it was a huge opportunity. She could have went anywhere, but she was like, no, I'm going to go with her. And so, I was just thinking about it. I was thinking about how God will use certain people in your life for a certain season. And it's either to get where you need to go. And trust and believe me, you got some Decepticons that want to jump out of nowhere to try to hold you back. But, you keep on pushing, you keep having faith and keep believing and keep praying. He'll start opening doors for you. Now, I was thinking to myself, like, I remember this time last year, I was in fear. I'm talking about in fear. In freaking fear, man. I thank God I'm not in that fear. I'm not. Although, I understand what the Bible says about, a husband and a wife is bound to her husband, and husbands to love your wives as Christ loved the church. But like I said in my last videos, you got some real doggish married couples out here. You got some real doggish people out here. And whether it's a wife who dogged the crap out of her husband, or a husband who dogged the mess out of his wife. And I got girlfriends, and they some praying sisters, loving wives. And their husbands, this particular husband treated her like some crap. And when I hear that, it's so sad, because I know, like, he don't know God is going to judge him for that. But I lie to you not, when I hear stuff like that, I be like, shh, it feel good to go home and not have to deal with that. Not sitting up here, y'all know what I mean. Because when you deal with the stress of, you're so used to, she's a stay-at-home mom too. When you're solely depending on your husband, like you depend on him. He works and you depend on him while you're at home taking care of the children. And when you have a husband who only give you scraps or only give you what he want to give you and withhold everything else while you sitting up here boring his children, and he think that he got himself a personal slave, that can break a woman down. That can really break a woman down. And so when she's constantly living in fear because he's always putting into her face that you're not good enough, you don't do this right, you don't cook right, you need to do this, or when she asks, do you think I can get, you make 6 figures a year, and when your wife asks you, babe, do you think I can get $10? What happened to the money I gave you last time? What happened to the $2 I gave you last week? Don't ask me for no money. I'm the one who keep a roof over your head. Jesus. And they wonder why a lot of women just say, forget it. Forget it. Because it take a lot of woman, a lot of wife, a lot of humbling, and a lot of grace for her not to go upside your head. It really does. But like I said, I had a sister. I mean, she's only a year older than me, but she snapped. Trying to please this old fool, this old man that was stuck in his ways. She snapped. But going back to the video, somebody asked me, so how are you doing now? Did you ever find God has opened doors for me, and I thank God for that. I thank the Lord for that. I thank the Lord for that. I really do. I'm looking at where we were. Yes, we were in a home, but God, like, Mona, I got you. And I honestly feel like this too, that God really wanted to push me in a different direction, because he knew that I was, me being under my husband and under his parents, that I don't think I would be as bold as I am right now, if y'all understand what I'm saying. But now if you're going through it where your husband is setting you, and that's another thing too, like my dear friend, I love her, I really do. She's such a sweet, she just deserves to be happy. She deserves to be happy. She loves her husband. She loves her husband. But it's like the things that she say, it's like I can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to break her. And he separate accounts and stuff, like as if he's just trying to set it up. Like if he just, I don't know what you saying, honey, but you're gonna have to translate that in English. I don't know what that was, but all I can say is this, is like, I just told her just to continue on praying. Continue on praying. That's all you can do, is just continue on praying. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit up here and be like, ignore it. Because I tried to ignore that when I was going through my situation. I tried to ignore and was like, this is not going to happen. I know God is going to turn this around, but when God is pushing you into a different direction, you will go in that direction whether you like it or not. You can be comfortable sitting on a lazy boy. He would get an angel to kick you like a freaking softball on the other side of the freaking world somewhere, if he has to do that in order for you to get up and move. So how am I right now? I'm doing way better than what I was when I was in that glass house. It looked nice on the outside, but it wasn't really my house. I couldn't really do what I wanted to do. Now I can come and go as I please. I can lay in the middle of my bed. I can make something for my daughter. If I wanted to eat oodles and noodles, I don't have nobody complaining. I'm not saying that my husband was one of those that's complaining, but you wives, you know how it could be. When you got a demanding husband, shoot, you better have some steaks and potatoes and some vegetables and all this other type of stuff. And they always, and Lord, don't get it twisted. There's some good husbands out here. Great husbands out here that'll make you want to cook that steak, potatoes, and shoot, if you look. for a good man, you'll go out and wring the chicken neck. You get me? Like, babe, this chicken tastes all fresh. He has no idea what you went through in the backyard. That's a good man. You'd be like, I know daggone with, girl, I have to. I gotta give him the best, cause he loved me. I'm like, I know that's right. But when you got a nagging husband, honey, ready to put you away, don't just, the best thing to do is pray. But I ain't gonna lie, I try to ignore it. I was like, I know my husband's gonna come back. I know he is. I know. But that was a scary time in my life. That was really scary in my life. Like, that was a scary time in my life. And you know what I learned from that? You know what I learned from that? And this is just to be honest with you. I want my own. I want my own. I believe that marriages, you should never have a prenup unless somebody is mentally unstable on the other side. You are supposed to share everything. But I don't know what it is. It's like the devil uses them to purposely hurt their spouse and put their spouse down. I don't know what would drive a man to go. I don't know what would drive a man to go and you get your hair done, your hair cut, you go to the gym, you got fresh kicks on and all of this. But you watch your wife struggle when you're supposed to be taking care of her. It's the same thing with the women. Like, I don't know what will possess you to go out and go spending and then come back and you didn't cook a meal for him. You didn't buy him anything. You just, he ain't gonna need nothing. Anyway, I'm about to get this. That's selfish. It's selfish when you don't break bread with each other because you are married. Why wouldn't you do that? When you say to yourself, I have to withhold something good from my husband so I can have it, that is the spirit of greediness and a thief. If you do that to your wife, that is very antichrist. And then if the Lord can feed a crowd of people and they were full with just a little bit that he had and he made do, how is it that you don't break bread with your spouse? I just don't understand. I would never understand that. I won't ever understand that. If I'm sharing with somebody, I'm not going to give you a little piece. I'm going to say, clink, clink. Which big one? You want the big one? I'm going to give you the better piece. If I'm going to go out and look fly, and I used to love going out to the special store, going shopping and stuff like that, my husband is going to look fly too. We both got on some smell goods. He got the fresh cut. Yes, we are both looking fly. Any woman who feels like I'm going to do this and I don't care about my husband, you're selfish. Always wanting your husband to give you something but never giving anything back in return. You're selfish. You have a selfish heart. Any man who does that too, man, you looking GQ and everybody thinking you got a maid and the whole time that's your wife. Some of these men out here they don't deserve no wife, and some of these women don't deserve a husband. But once you get married, that's done. It is what it is. You can't give them up. You can't take them back. You can't. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why? I mean, it's like this. You married a doggy dog man that's trifling. You might as well look, it's the death do you part. Don't let the other woman have to take the burden of the man that you married. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just ranting. I'm just, I hate that. I freaking, man. I hate that. So I want to say one thing. When me and my husband was together, he said some things, but majority of the time he always said encouraging things. He wasn't one of those that would not, you know what I'm saying, that was selfish. Like, I had one of them, he went to work, we had a joint bank account. He went to work, and when he got paid, it was in our account. He took out maybe gas money, and we paid the bills, and he gave me, look, babe, we went over our budget. This is your spending money. I'm like, bad. And I made sure I was adding, because you know why? I knew that I'm the helper here. We're going to be right. If I have to go out here and coupon it. But God provided. Like, even when I thought I was not going to make it when my husband left me high and dry with a baby in my hands. While my in-laws was like, bad, we know he's sick, so we going to devour the mess out of his wife. We are going to take her down while our son is hallucinating over here. And little did they know, God was with me. And I thank God he delivered me. But, I mean, to go back to your question, how things turned out good. I'm really feeling like today, I paid a bill today with no type of, oh my God, what am I going to do? It was like that, paid, done. All my bills are paid. Everything's on time. Okay, October's rent was paid in September. Yes, Mona is getting her credit up, and I am going to get my house. And the next house that I get, in the mighty name of Jesus, it will be in just my name, Ramona Hines. Because the only person that's going to knock at the daggone door and tell me to go will be when the Lord comes back for me. I'm serious. I would never be I don't believe in prenups. I don't. But certain things, when you know. I told one of my really good girlfriends, don't go nowhere. Because that's what he wants you to do. And it's horrible to be in a roof with somebody trying to drive you out of your freaking mind. It's horrible, man. Like I said, some of these men, they don't deserve wives. But I had to tell her, too, he better be very careful. Because you praying and calling on the Lord can take him out really quick. And then next thing you know, you be a widow shopping for a new husband. Or he'll give you peace. But when they don't do things that are in alignment with God, shoot, man, they got it coming. I'm serious, y'all. It may not be, you asked me before how I was doing. I got peace. When I tell you, when I was in that house, and when my husband left and he did not come back, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law put so much fear on my heart, y'all, that every time they spoke, I wanted to throw up, literally. I was in fear of trying to pray for my husband, didn't know what was going on, and are we going to lose the roof over our head? I was in fear because I had a dog and 3 cats. And guess what? I still got a dog and 3 cats. Well, my cousin got one of them. I still got 3 originals. I got faith in something. You know what I mean. I still got my animals. It was so bad, y'all. I had to put the whole crew, all the animals had to go on a fast. You like, Mona, what you talking about? I put yellow string and dipped it in some daggone oil, prayed over it, because I needed to get a roof over their house, a roof over their heads. Not only my baby fighting some freaking attorneys up in there, but yeah, my father-in-law did that. Let me stop. I'm going back into emotions here. But I'm good. Never again. You won't ever trick me like that again, nope. And it's unfortunate. There are good husbands out here that will fight for their wives and they will protect their wives. But in the modern day right now, you got wives who are turning their backs on their husbands. You got husbands who are turning their backs on their wives. That's why he says that narrow is the road. Like, a lot of y'all going straight to hell because of what you did to your wife, what you did to your husband, and you still don't have a repentant heart at all. But one thing I learned, I gotta have my own. I love you, baby, But I have to, it will always be in my name. Always. I will not. I just, no. No. And it's horrible how the court systems, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just really ranting right now. It's horrible how the court system uses this union and tear them apart for their own selfish gain to make money. You turn the man against his own wife and the wife against her own husband. Now you battling out. The worst of the worst come out. But you ask me a question, how am I doing now? And I'm doing 1 million times better. 1 million times better. Somebody asked me, have you spoken to your husband? No, but I'm pretty sure he watches my videos daily. I know my husband looks at my videos daily. I guess he figured ain't no point in me reaching out. I see her every single day. Well, keep getting your shows in, because sooner or later I'm about to pull a plug on this. And maybe that'll give you some time to really think. But anywho, I'm doing way more better. Way better. I don't live in fear. 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 And I don't live in fear. I don't live in fear. And I remember somebody left a comment on the video, the eviction video. Why is her stupid stuff still there? And if it's supposed to be an eviction? If you notice, when I was in that house, did you hear the echo? None of my stuff gonna be on the street. They all came and got it. But anywho, I'm doing way more better, y'all. I'm good, and I can't wait when I get to that day when I can go in my house with my many rooms, with my backyard, my front yard, my basement. Never again. Never freaking again. Never again will I ever do that again. I'm going to tell you some real stuff. If you are married and you are in love and you both believe in God, then you should always have an eye that everything that belongs to him belongs to her, and everything that belongs to her belongs to him. Me and my husband talked about that all the time. My husband used to tell his friends that it's so awesome being married, and he used to encourage one of his friends to get married. You know, so, but like I said, in this day and age now, you just don't know. If 60% of people in their marriages end in divorce, you gotta really, it's like you playing Russian roulette with it. So you gotta ask yourself, are you gonna hold the torch? Are you willing to do this thing until death do y'all part? Are you willing to love your husband unconditionally? You know, to death do you part. Do you understand that this is a one-time deal? Because if you feel like, nah, I got options. If it don't work, I can get a divorce, then don't even get married. Don't even do it. Because what you're doing when you do that, if you get a divorce later on, if you renege, you're committing adultery and you're dragging somebody new into it. And if you promised God and you went ahead and took this covenant and you told the Lord, Lord, you can hold me accountable for my wife. You can hold me accountable for my husband. And God is going to hold you accountable for it. You do understand that? You took this wife and now you dogged her. You treated her treacherously. You did everything to her. And you think that my hand is going to be with you? No, don't even go there. Don't fornicate either. Let her have her own husband. Don't be selfish and try to harbor her when you have no means of marrying her. But if you're not immaterial and you know you for the devil, then go somewhere else. But I feel sorry for women that, you know, have husbands that are just horrible. And sometimes I ask myself this question, what is it in a man that would make him want to just hate his wife? What is it in a man that would just, he just can't stand her. He can't stand her smile. It's not him. It's that demon that's in him. That unclean spirit. It's the entity. He hates her. He hates her light. He hates her righteousness. He can't stand her. That's why I say some of these fools don't even know the freaking jewels. That's just like one lady. I was sitting up here looking at this thing. I was listening to the thing. The lady ended up getting a ring from, I think she went to London and they had the flea market. She bought the ring for $13. It was a diamond in the rough, but she wore it all the time. She finally 20 years later got it appraised. That $13 ring was an $800,000 diamond. Some of these fools out here have no idea when you got ruby and diamonds just shining on your freaking crown. And instead of you wearing it, you just throw it off in the gutter. Unworthy fools. So what are you supposed to do as a wife? You pray. But I said it before. If he now this time you've been praying for him, Lord, please let my husband love me. That's how I used to be. Father, please let my husband love me. Please let him have mercy on me. Please let him get, oh yeah, I did all of that. Then it was like, Lord, please protect me. Now I had to ask, isn't that something when you got to ask for protection from your own husband? Isn't that something? You went from praying for your husband to now you need protection from your own husband. Now you're asking God to give you courage so you can take your husband down. And trust and believe me, when you are not in alignment with God, God will use that other spouse to do just that. He will do that. I'm going to tell you what upset me, my father-in-law. And I hope he's looking at this video. Because of your sick, dumb self, you got my husband locked up. Because of you. If you would have stuck your freaking hands out of our marriage, he would have never been in jail. Because of your stupidness. But it was my husband too. Because he decided to listen to a fool like you. Sorry, y'all. I got in my feelings. But to answer your question, I'm sorry. That's why I be thinking maybe I should go ahead and start removing some of these old videos. Because they bring back too many memories. Had a brand new baby. And you evicted your only grandchild. What evil? But you thought, this is what they thought. They thought what we're going to do is we're going to evict her and the baby and then go in and get all the things. You forgot my background is property management. None of my stuff going to be on the street. So anyone wants it, come and get it. So when you came back to this 3,000 square foot home and all you can hear was an echo, I hope it echoes through your freaking mind that at the end of the day, I'm his wife. You can't take anything from me, including that freaking, what was it? Some rocking thing? Sorry, y'all. I just got him out. I just had a flashback. But to answer your question, I'm doing good. Just got off of work. My bills are paid. I got a beautiful baby girl that's waiting in the house for me. I'm about to make her some dinner. I'm going to go out and walk the dog. I'm going to take the trash out. I'm going to watch me a movie. I'm going to praise God like I always do. And I'm going to keep on moving. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on moving. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. I told y'all the other day, I get a letter in the mail from an attorney, and I'm like, oh, snap. Are they starting this again? You know, I'm getting flashbacks. Nope, it was from an attorney that was like, you know, you owe like $2,000 in hospital bills. And I'm like, what? I'm like thinking to myself, and I'm thinking, should I go to court and start rumbling? And And I'm like, well, if I owe it, do I owe it? Because that's probably the only thing that's on my credit report. And you know, when you're about to get a house and stuff, you got to make sure everything is clear. Sometimes God will say, Mona, okay, this is what needs to be done, and this is how I'm going to push you in this direction. There are some certain things, I'm not going to lie, because come January, I will have been divorced now for a whole year after the ordeal that we went through. But I'm at a place right now where I'm more focused. Can you hear me? No, I can't because you're typing. But anywho, I'm at a better place than I was before. I can get sleep. At first, as a wife, you know, you worry about whether or not. Okay, so let me go ahead and put you, I'm gonna have to put you in timeout. I'm at a place right now where I'm at a place right now where I'm content and happy, and I'm finding more things that I want to do. And I really feel sorry for women when they be like, I'm going through the same thing. I'm like, Lord, I hope you ain't going through the same thing I went through. You know, I get those comments, you know, somebody just lost a baby and I get a flashback. Or a comment of somebody's husband who's not treating them right. 60% of marriages end up in divorce. And a lot of people like to do this thing that's called a no contest divorce. Meaning that's just any old given reason why you want to get this divorce. It's hard too when you're hurt as a wife, because you really do want your husband. You really do want him, and you really do want things to work out. But when he pushes you away, you have no choice but to stand on your own feet and ask God how to do it. And the thing about it is that when God steps in, he'll do it way better than what your husband was doing. He'll show you way more things in which he'll bless you way more. And I'm not sitting there saying, you know, you're supposed to leave your husband. No, because the Bible says that you're bound to your husband. Therefore, you need to stay with your husband. But if he up and puts you away, it's gonna hurt for a year, 2, 3 years. It still hurts from time to time. But I'm not. At the end of the day. Oh, that's the. I'm like, what am I'm about to do? That's the windshield wiper. At the end of the day, I can honestly say this: when I was with my husband, I was a very good wife. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure my lights are off. Jesus, it's too wet out there. I mean, I was a really good wife. Very good wife. And it's always the husbands and wives who do the dirtiest to husbands who were good to them. I remember when I was driving for Lyft, the lady said she left her husband, and she was like, because he was too good. What? You left him because he was too good? You wanted some doggy man out here over a good man? She was like, I know. I just thought he was too good. I just was like, I wanted something new. That demon was whispering in your ear and was like, man, leave your husband. There's something out here. Go put on. I see women now that have left their husbands, got a divorce. Now all of a sudden they feel like I'm back on the prowl. They got cleavage showing, booty hanging out, like, hey, and they still miserable. They still lonely, and they're still like, now what did I do? One thing I can honestly say is this. If y'all know my videos, I fought for my marriage and I prayed for my marriage. And even right now, I'm still honoring my marriage. My husband can never, he probably makes stories here and there, but he can never say that he didn't have or he doesn't have a righteous wife. He can never say that he doesn't have a virtuous wife. He can never say that my wife never prayed for me, my wife never catered to me, my wife never loved me, my wife never, because don't get it twisted. I be upset about my husband about certain things, but I may, vent a little bit here and there, and I'm learning, trying to contain my tongue and stuff, but I can do it. That don't mean you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is something that I went through. But he can never say that. And even to the last end, when somebody said, why'd you sign the paper? I never signed the paper. And you want to know why? Because I wanted my father-in-law to see that it might have been your money to do this, but this was not in God's will. And you would not have my signature on a plaque. You will always look at you cross the barrier in between someone's marriage and a union, and you're going to have to deal with it, and my husband's going to have to deal with it too. And it's not going to be by me, it's going to be by God. I can dust my feet, I can brush my hands off and say, that wasn't my doing. You removed me from the house. You sent 15 attorneys at me, try to jump me on both ends, and you both sank anyway. It cost my father-in-law $26,000. You got your son locked up for that. You did a lot of damage, and you got a lot of repenting to do, and a lot of apologies as well. A prideful man with a hateful man, one who does not believe in God, will ignore it. But if you know that you got one foot in the grave and the other out, you're going to come to your senses and realize, what have I done? So, but as for me, I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. Some people may say, you ain't never going to get an apology, and I'm always, the rest of my days, I'm going to still be happy. Don't mean I have to be happy in front of you. What you did was a wicked thing to do. Any man who puts his wife away, that's a wicked thing to do. It's very antichrist. Any wife who puts her husband away, that's very antichrist. It's a wicked thing to do. But if you think that God is not going to bless her, if you think that God is not going to use her or use him, I got news for you. He will prepare a table before your enemies, even if it is your husband or your wife, just so everybody can see, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It would have been easy for you to see me with a new boo, but that would have been a huge sin. That would have been adultery, and I ain't about that life. I still got a lot of things I got to learn, though, y'all. Like taming my tongue. Being slow to anger. Not anger, but what's the word? Like, talking like a lady. But yeah, I've been doing really good. I've been doing fine. I can't wait to see my baby. I've been enjoying life, going around, like I told y'all the other day, I took my mother and my grandmother out in Symphony. We all went out to dinner. Had a really good dinner. So it was really like, I'm enjoying myself. So I'm good. Just as long as I'm doing things right by God, I'm fine. So trouble don't last always. It won't.